Sometimes the things that we need to do the most are the things that are the hardest things to do. So you might be in a long-term relationship where you know it's not serving either of you, and there's a little voice telling you that something's not quite right, but you don't want to step away because you've been with this person for quite some time, and it's scary to move on. Or maybe you're in a job or going down a career path that really, doesn't suit you, and you don't want to be there 5, 10, 15 years from now. Maybe you're living in a city where you can't really enjoy yourself because you're not making the kind of connections you want to make. You're not going out and doing the kind of things that you want to do because it's not available to you. All those things can be really frightening. But then there's that little voice that keeps nagging at us. And maybe that's, over a course of time of a couple of weeks, a couple of months, maybe a couple of years, maybe 5 years pass, and there's this constant voice that's saying, this relationship isn't working, this job isn't working, this city isn't working. That voice can often get hushed because all of our fears step in. On one hand, we're looking at all the possibilities. What if I get out of this relationship and I find an amazing relationship after this? What if I quit this job and I find the job of my dreams? What if I decide to move to another city and it's the best place I could possibly be? On the other hand, what if not? What if things don't work out the way I want them to? And so then we're sitting in a place where we're wondering, how do I know? How do I know that that little voice is really that little voice? What if it's just this fearful voice kicking in? How do I know this is my instinct? How do I know this is my gut saying something to me? How do I know that I'm making the right decisions? If at that point we can just sit back and concentrate on one thing that we're 100% certain of, it's easier to understand. So if you're faced by a decision, is this the right thing for me? Should I be following my gut in this? Should I be following my instinct in that? Sit back and think of one thing that you're 100% certain of. Maybe it's the love you have for a family member or a friend. Maybe you know the job you're in is the job you want to be doing for the rest of your life. Maybe you know the city you're living in is exactly where you want to be and there's nowhere else in the world you'd rather be. Think of something that you're 100% certain of and chase that feeling in other things you do. That certainty is there. That's your gut instinct telling you, this is right. I know this beyond a shadow of a doubt. This is what it feels like when I know that I'm in the right space, that I'm with the right person, that I'm doing the right thing. And think about the position you're in and how you feel relative to that. So do you feel pretty much the same, or is it on a completely different spectrum where you're 100% certain of this one thing and this is how you feel, but when you're looking at the relationship you're in, it's not even close to that feeling of certainty. That's how you can start to gauge whether or not what you're feeling is a gut instinct. Whether or not this voice that's calling you to do something else is really in your best interest and really trying to show you something and really trying to get you to move in the right direction. So if there's anything that you're struggling with right now, be 100% certain in what you're 100% certain of in, and understand that feeling and move with that feeling in everything that you do. Thanks, and have a good week. We'll see you next time.